Hey, Fuzzy Goat family, Melissa here in Thomasville, Georgia on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's almost like today you can kind of feel like it's a little fall. We had some very humid, sticky, but cooler temperatures this weekend, a lot like rain and stuff. So today, like the humidity is gone, so it's really nice out there. So it gets me excited about knitting some warm, thicker sweaters, bigger sweaters. But we had a great weekend celebrating our birthdays this weekend. So thanks to all of you that made it so special. And we had the lodge was full on Saturday, which was really fun. Ladies knitting and chatting, and it was just so much fun. And I'm also going, so I because it was gloomy, did a lot of watching tennis and a lot of knitting. And now I feel like I'm going through some like US Open withdrawals because there's no tennis on when I get home tonight. But it's all right. It's okay. But I did get a lot of knitting, a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm going to share those projects with you. But first of all, let me see. I am wearing the Joni, Joni, and I actually made this out of Copper Corgi's Shoreline silk. And it was a really fun project, and the yarn was great to work with. And I think Sarah probably mentioned this weekend that she told me that you could just throw it in the washing machine. Now, I wouldn't probably dry it completely in the dryer. But so I thought I would show you some of her silks that maybe this is an option. I think the pattern called for sport weight. And I would say that her Shoreline silk could probably be used for a heavier fingering, but I think it could pass for a sport too. So I mean, a fingering project or a sport weight project, you could use her Shoreline silk with, which we still have from her pop-up this weekend. So let me show you some lovely, look at these pretty colors, looking like fall. And it's so fun to see these colors. Oh no, I thought this was something else. It's not. It's funny because I thought this was going to be, Rosabili, right? But it's not. It's a different color. It is Sweater Weather, which is so appropriate. I love this color. Now, I was thinking of one color in this, which may surprise you all, but I'm actually thinking this might be it. This reminds me of Rosabili. So I picked colors. We have some other ones too, but I picked colors that had more than two, so I could show you in case you were interested in the sweater. This one is Palmera, but it just takes the color so different in the silk. Oh, let me tell you the yardage on this too, because it's got some pretty good 450 yards on this as well. This is Trembling Earth. This is moss, Spanish moss. Yes, Spanish moss. Classic. What is this brown one? T for two? T for one. Sorry, T for one. Pretty too. Oh, the Sweater Weather is so fall-like. Yeah, very fall-like. And this is the one I was actually thinking of making. This is a very popular color, Low Tide. And she had a sample. I didn't bring it over, made out of this, but it's just really nice to work with. It's not slippery. Like some silks can be kind of slippery, but it wears really nice. So anyway, just thought I'd show you those. They are up online on fuzzygoatyarns.com. Okay, so let's talk about my projects. I feel like I was all over the board this weekend. I had so much fun just knitting a little here, a little there. Let me start. What do I have on my list? Yeah, okay. So I finally finished the front. This is the front of my Pasadena pullover, because if you remember, I had to pull it out, both the front and the back. It kind of went in timeout. So I've got the front and the back finished. And the armholes match up, which was key, which is where I had my fault. So now I have started the sleeves. I didn't bring them to show y'all, but it feels really good to have the front and back done. I had actually started the sleeves until I realized I had to pull everything out. And I'm doing the sleeves 2 at a time because they're done flat. So that should go quicker. I think I'm going to make them a little shorter than the pattern calls for. So I got to take a look at that and see where I want to make them shorter. But this is a cotton, which I think will be really nice for the fall here. So looking forward to wearing that. Okay, so the other one, I don't know, I got obsessed with this one this weekend. Actually, it wasn't even this weekend, it was last week. The Shona. I need to try this on. So look, the lace turned out. I'm really excited about that. Right? Doesn't it look pretty? I was so worried that it wasn't gonna. I think a nice blocking will open it up. So the Shona, the lace repeat, I did it one extra time. I think might try this on tonight. Then there's maybe an inch and a half or so of just knit. So I may do another section of this. I have to see how it's going to lay on me. Then I will pick up for the neck, and then I'll pick up for the sleeves as well. And then there's some crochet shenanigans going on, and I have to figure out if I'm going to do a different color for that part, the crochet part. But this is the Shona, Shona top. I'm using the Echo Baby because it is so squishy soft, but any DK would work. Because it's a summer top, she suggested something that had linen in it, which we have. Lord, I just went blank. We do have some of that. What's it called? Milo? Is that the one with linen? Manos? Milo? I think it's Milo. But I mean, any DK would work. So now that we're going into fall, I did actually cotton. Yeah. So check that out if you want a linen. Okay. So that's the Shona. So excited about that. Cadence and I are going next week. So this weekend, I have parents' weekend in Savannah or Statesboro that I'm not really sure my children know is happening, which is fine. And then Cadence and I go next week. We'll be in Toronto for masterminds. Is that what you call it? Mastermind. So yeah, good ideas. We share ideas. We come back with some good stuff. So, got to get my projects organized. That's a big one because we got to go on the plane and then, yeah. Okay. So that was the Shona. We will be open. I'll just go ahead and tell them right. We're open, Tuesday and Wednesday, 12 to 3 and all day Thursday. Kit and Carolina and Madeline will be here to help. So you can call or, if you're in town, come on in. And then we'll be back Friday. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is the holiday lights. So Colorwork is always amazing to me. So I think I'm changing up my Colorwork. So I got to talk about this. I knit Portuguese style. So I have one yarn over my neck. And I think when Cadence and I were in Savannah for one of the masterminds, we went to a yarn shop and there was a woman knitting Portuguese style, but she was doing Colorwork. And she had both her yarns around her neck. I'm like, well, I never thought about that, to have both of them and then, switch them. So I started trying to do that, but I want to show you something. And maybe it's really not as obvious as I thought it was while I was knitting. Maybe not. But you see the green string lights? Okay, so this one is where I started carrying my yarn differently. And maybe you can't tell. I felt like the string light the color is kind of in the background as opposed to the foreground. The front. And then I changed it up. So you really can't tell yet because it's the stitch right before the light. And I noticed that the string light color was popping more. Does that make sense? So it has to do with, and maybe I'm a little crazy, but I did do some research on it. So when you're knitting, and if you have color work, and it's where the yarn closest to your fabric, right? So as I'm knitting, if my color work yarn that I want to pop is further behind, obviously the main color is going to be in the way, so it won't pop as much, if that makes sense, like in the background. They call it dominant. And I've been trying to figure that out. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but it can, if, certain times in your knitting, you may want certain colors to pop more than others. So while I'm doing the lights, I don't necessarily need this background to be dominant, right? I want the color work to be dominant. So in the lights, it doesn't really matter because there's a lot going on there. But so here's that stitch right there. I just feel like it got a little more prominent than these right here. So maybe not. So this is our holiday lights kit. Hey there, how are you? Holiday lights kit that we have. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 2 more rows of the lights, and it does take some time, especially the light bulb part. And we have lots, which I think is a great idea, those theme kits. If anybody's interested in doing that, the theme kits would be great. Like you just work one color until it goes away, then you work another. I think it'd be fun. But we do have some more kits of these. If you're interested, holiday lights, and the pattern is called Christmas in Flux. I'm doing the fingering weight. She also has a DK weight. She also has sock patterns, which are super fun. Diana, our local in-house sock knitter, she was super excited about that. All right, and then I did work some more on my mom's agave. And yeah, I think I made some progress here. I was going to work on it again yesterday, but I didn't get to it. So I think I'm on my second agave. I said a flower agave. Yeah, it's a fruit. Anyway, I'm on my second one, second repeat. And I think I have 4. So the back is slightly different than the front. And actually, we had Lois here helping us this weekend for her birthday. And she was wearing it. She made it out of a cotton. And it's interesting because the front has the flower. Let's just say they're here. And I think they go down the other side of the back, which I thought was interesting that it wouldn't go right over the shoulder. Anyhow, so this is agave. I think we still have a chambray blue kit left in that if you're interested. Now, I have to see. Where's my little tag? Here's my little tag. Does she have it on here? I feel like she mentions this as a worsted weight in her line of yarns. Dando, I'm saying her. But I would call it, like if you're interested in substituting the yarn, I would probably use a DK weight if you wanted to make this. And another yarn. But it's fun. The one I'm doing linen for my mom. Beautiful color. Love it. Okay. So I also made some progress. Oh, let's go in order here. In my pleated top, pleated tee. I realize it's now getting to be fall, but it's okay. I'm going to keep going. It might, if I don't get too far along on it, I might have to park it for next year. So I didn't finish the back, but the back is on hold. Let's see, where are we here? The back is on hold. This is the little pleated part where the pleat starts. So they had me stop that because I'm getting ready. I hope it's long enough that I'm looking at to do the front. And so I started the front. And I think I'm right now, I can't remember where I am in the pattern. I think I'm just doing the pattern and then I'm going to be doing some increases. Yes, like this part right here. And then this part, the pleated part. And then that will eventually go in the round. But now I'm looking at it and I do want to check on that sizing on it. It's very stretchy because of the pleat. So I'm hoping that's going to throw me some grace. So would silky wool work, Patty, for which pattern? I'm wondering which pattern. So put it in there. Hopefully, if I don't catch it while I'm on live, I'll answer it later. Okay. So pleated top. Oh, the Wildflower. Yeah, here it is. And I'm wondering how many of you got your little fuzzy goat bag this weekend? We had so much fun with that, and I had it for a while, and I couldn't. Oh, the agave. Would a silky wool work? I don't see why it wouldn't. Obviously do your gauge swatch. And it depends on what you're wanting it to look like. I'm not sure what yarn you're referring to, but like a silk wool blend, I don't know why that wouldn't work. But yeah, I would just do my gauge swatch. I think it's on an 8 or a 9. So I would also read the label of the yarn. They always have a suggestion of what needle size. So if that kind of matches, then yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that yarn, but I'll look it up when I get off here. All right, this is going to be hard to see, and I'm going to be very careful because I have my stitches on hold. I probably should have it on a longer stitch holder because look, it goes right to the very end. All right, let's see if we can figure out what's happening here. So this is my back. Okay, and I don't know if you remember, they had me do a provisional cast on for each shoulder. And so that's why. So I was able to unzip it and work on, well, now my shoulders are connected. So I worked on one shoulder, right, the front part. So I unzipped my provisional cast on, picked them up, or they were live, knitted down. Then I put it on hold, and then I undid this part and worked it and now I have just barely, I don't know if you can tell. So yeah, so this is my neckline right here. So I casted those on. So I'm going to be working this for a little bit to make it longer. And then when it matches the back right here, I'm going to go in the round. Now I have started, you can see my little markers there. She had me, or I put those in there for the little, we're going to do a little lace pattern. I think it's a cable actually. So that's where my little cables will be. And, yeah, so now it's kind of hard because I have the back on hold, and it's kind of, anyway, it's just kind of hard to tell what's going on. But this is the Wildflower tee, and I'm using Bad Cheap. It's a fingering weight project, and it's actually on, I want to say a 5, which is, it's a kind of a big needle, I think, for a fingering. Usually I end up going down. So I got that. And yeah, you can see I did quite a bit of, not a lot of housekeeping or anything like that, but it was just one of those weekends that it was just nice to hunker down and just do something. Do something. I don't know if I worked on this too much. Hey, Amy, thanks for watching. Okay, so I think I worked on this. Maybe this might go on the airplane with me because I can put it on. Okay, so we're going to Canada, so it technically is international, and I'll always just get leery that they might take my needle. So I'll probably put this on a shorter cable with my shorty needles. Maybe, I think I have some wooden ones, and I'll probably work on this in the airplane, and it's small, and yeah, shouldn't be any issues there. I also have a project that I might bring on the plane that I need to do the sleeves for, which would work. What, as far, I have no idea. Like, this is just, yeah, just thoughts that, because we're going to be gone this weekend, so I want to try to get that organized. Anyway, so this is the Lata, Lataa lace scarf. I'm using, it's a lightweight fingering. A fingering would work. I'm using something that has silk in it. It's Alicia's Knitwise, which is just kind of nice. And it's kind of an addicting pattern. It's easy to do. You do need to pay a little bit of attention, but not so much that you can't be doing anything else. A friend of mine sent me a video of a woman, I think I've seen this before, at the US Open, up in the stands, knitting, and people were looking at her like, oh, that's a great idea. So yeah, sometimes if you're way up in the stands at a tennis match, like, you can't see anything anyway. All right, so I have my Strunbulli. I was watching a series. This is going to make me think of that series I was watching with Nicole Kidman this weekend, right? Oh, did you see that?
I can't get enough of watching them dance.
I know the dance part, but they don't ever show it in the movie. Like, it's just the beginning. Yeah, it's awesome. What was it called?
Show it. It is the first episode, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but they don't show, like, it's not a whole song. What's it called again? Perfect Couple. So this is now going to remind me of the Perfect Couple. So Betty was in this weekend, and she showed me her. She's also doing the Strunbulli, and she is using, which I think is would be great for this, is the flaxen. And to be honest, she took the color that I wanted to use. But I also had this yarn at home, and it's Rosabelly. And there is something on her screen here. There we go. Now I can see. And it's on again. And I think, and I don't know if you guys can see it or not, I'm okay with what I can see of the pattern because I love Rosabelly so much. This pattern, it looks intimidating. I totally get that it can look intimidating, but it really isn't that bad at all. You don't need, there's kind of like what I want to show you, kind of like a cable stitch. Let me see if I can find it. It right here. But you don't, it's one of those that doesn't need a cable. You're just picking up a stitch over 2 stitches. And yeah, so I mean, there's no cable. It's really not that bad. You'll know pretty immediately if you've made a mistake. If you're not, I do use my markers, but it's really been kind of fun to work on. The rounds go faster than I thought. Like, the round on the Christmas sweater does take a while. This one does not seem to take as long. I think I'm on, do I have my notes here? I think I have to do like 6 repeats of the chart. And I think it's like 10 rows, which is not too bad. I may end up doing, because it's bottom up, I may end up doing 1 more repeat. I'm going to have to see what that looks like. But Strunbulli by Caitlin Hunter. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. So Betty, when she was in this weekend, said, Melissa, you say that about a lot of projects, that it's fun, it's fun. She said, but the pop rock, she said, was definitely fun. You know, the orange one I wear that has the little circles, that was fun too. So then we have a class set up to do the Pacific Grove top. I'm using Blue Sky Skyland and Strunbulli. Yes, Patty, Strunbulli is the name of the pattern by Caitlin Hunter. Oh, and I just realized I have one stitch stopper on here. This I am on. Oh, that's what I need to get. I need to get another needle because this is way too tiny. All right, so it's really hard to tell what's going on here. Let's see if I can show you a picture. I've done my gauge swatch, obviously, and here we go. I'm gonna pull this out. Oh, I had almost a fire this weekend. So I'm sitting there knitting, and it's like I said, it's gray, and I like to have a candle that I usually have on next to me, and I noticed the candle was getting low, and it was like popping, and I'm like, what's going on there? And I could see that it was kind of getting unruly, but it was in glass, and and then all of a sudden I looked down, and let me show you what was happening. So I might have to print this pattern again. This was happening on my pattern. Don't ask me why the pattern was underneath it. Yeah. So what happened was it cracked the glass, and then the wax started melting out from the glass, ruined my table. I'm going to have to sand it and see if maybe we can keep, my house is still a mess right now. So really it's not shocking that that's happened, and it kind of fits in with my house. But this is my Lotta scarf pattern. So I'm going to have to, it's stuck. Might have to print that again, but yeah, little fireage going on there. So this is the Pacific Grove top. Okay, and you see that little detail, very pretty. People have asked, I think it'll look pretty in a solid, but I also think you can definitely do this in a slightly variegated, or you know what, you see what I'm doing with my Strunbulli. It really is what yarn you love, and the detail on this is pretty crisp, I would say, if that's how you want to describe it. That I think you could use it variegated. So I am using, what do we call this? Red Sky or something like that. Did I drop a stitch? No. It is really hard, as I'm looking at this, really hard to tell what's going on. She had an interesting cast on a technique. I don't even know what she called it, but what you do is you cast on, like, I don't know, 60, 65. So it's kind of small. Then the next row, it's almost, I don't know if you want to call it like a tubular cast on, but it's, anyway, then you double it, but it is still tight around here. So I thought at first I was going to be picking up, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know if you can see. It's a little different, that neckline. So I think I need to get on longer needles. I think I'll be able to see what's happening. I have started the little basket weave. And it's fun. So it's four stitches, well, 8 stitches. So 4 stitches go one way, the cable goes one way, and the next 4 go the other way. So it's making the crisscrossy. But also before that, she has you do a double yarn over, and then you drop the double yarn over, and that's what you're doing your cable with. So another reason why we're doing a class on it. It's just some new skills. Usually when I have done the double yarn over, you're dropping it to make it like a long lace. This one, not so much. You're going to use, but so I hadn't gotten very far on just trying to see if I can show you. It's just very hard to see my crisscross. Maybe that's not the part I did it on. Oh, see, that's why it's all tight, because part of it, I have done the crisscrossy part. You can see it there. And on this side, I hadn't gotten there yet. And yeah, so it's all bunched up because I have my double yarn overs on every stitch. So clearly I need to get some different stoppers on here, because I think I've lost this one. So I need to do that. But I need to get it, I think, on longer needles. So if you're doing this, 16-inch for the cast on, I would recommend. Then you probably pretty quickly need to go to a 24-inch. Eventually, I might even go to a 32-inch. But anyway, I think it's going to be a fun holiday-esque little pattern there. So Pacific Grove top. Anyway, check it all out on our website, fuzzygoatyarns.com. Let us know if we can be of any help. I've been texting a couple people with some color options today for some sweater ideas. I think one person was doing the rocket tee and one was doing the Westbourne. So I'm always happy to send you pictures. So give us a call, text us, or email us. And I hope you all have a great day. And it's football season. Maybe the weather will get cool. And I look forward to, I won't catch up with you next week. Maybe the next week. Okay. So take care.